Howdy y'all. So it's been a while. We had some major storms blow through last night. Luckily we sustained minimal damage. I actually feel bad for our neighbors. Their trampoline came flying across. I posted a little short video if y'all want to go back and check it out. But yeah, it was 80-mile-per-hour winds. It was insane, which means that fall is officially on the way. It's almost here. And it's time to start getting everything ready and all your recipes together for this fall. So we are going to do an extreme focus on pumpkins over the next couple videos. Today, I'm going to do it's still 100 degrees outside, so I still think it's justified. We're going to do a chili pumpkin latte cheesecake. I got all that out. So, yay! Stay tuned. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe so you can get the next series of pumpkin cheese, or the next series of pumpkin recipes. We're going to look at how to prepare a pumpkin from scratch. We're going to look at just a traditional pumpkin pie and how to make it. We're also going to do a stuffed pumpkin, a pumpkin dipping sauce, and if I can, either pumpkin bread or pumpkin muffins. Let me know in the comments which one you prefer. But for today, we're going to do the chili pumpkin latte cheesecake. So here we go. Ingredients. There is a lot that goes into this cheesecake, so I've got my trusty little list here. If you want to snapshot that real quick with your phone, that's what we're going to go through. So the first thing I want to look at is the filling. So we are going to need some cheese. I like brie. I really like brie. It's a good soft cheese. It's really kind of buttery and creamy and just wonderful. But you're also going to need Philadelphia. These are all 8 ounce. So you're going to need 2 8-ounce bries and 3 8-ounce Phillies. Then we're going to need, obviously for the pumpkin part, we're going to need some pumpkin. This is our latte. This is Folgers instant coffee. And there is a whole tablespoon in there. Now, we've got some other stuff. Obviously, we need sugar all together. This here is 1 cup. And then this is maple syrup. We've got a half a teaspoon of maple syrup. We have 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And this is our pumpkin pie spice. We're going to use 1.5 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. And then finally, we're going to use it's either 5 large, or in this case, these are kind of medium-sized eggs, so I've got 6 of them. For our crust, we're going to need ginger snaps. It's 1.5 cups of ginger snaps, and then 1/4 cup of butter. Don't forget to get your cheese and your butter softening. I know I say that all the time, but it's real important. And same for your eggs. You want them at room temperature. In case you didn't know, when you first open up a package of brie and you open it from the bottom and then it opens up and you've got what looks like this skin right here on the outside of it. You need to cut that off so that what you've got is this nice, creamy, wonderful goodness. In addition to the ingredients that you need for the actual cake itself, we're going to need to spray or, shortening, whatever you want to use for that. And it's going to go in a 9x13 cake pan. So just a good old baking dish. You can use a glass one if you prefer. I'm just going to use my trusty old metal one here. So, all right, let's get that sprayed and prepared. And then we'll mix up the first 2 ingredients, which are going to be the pumpkin puree and the instant coffee. We're going to mix them separately, put them aside, and then we're going to get our cheeses creamed with our sugars and all of that going. Okay, so here's our pumpkin puree, and it can go in the mixer first. I am exhausted today. Chasing after everything in the yard earlier was insane. If you have fresh pumpkin and you want to use it, you can substitute that. This, by the way, is a 15-ounce can, and that's all it takes. It's just 15 ounces, just shy. You could say a cup. It wouldn't hurt anything to have a little extra pumpkin in there. Just more pumpkin goodness. I love pumpkin. I like the flavor of pumpkin. All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and put our instant coffee. Remember, that is 1 tablespoon of Folgers instant coffee, and I'm gonna go ahead and put in my maple syrup as well. that, if you'll remember, was a half a teaspoon. So it's just enough to add a little maple flavor. You can substitute that for like a 1/4 teaspoon of extract if you like. All right, let's see if I can not end up with pumpkin on my face. Don't forget to scrape down your sides. And the reason you're mixing the instant coffee in at this stage is so that it'll have a chance to kind of dissolve. And right now, all we're trying to do is get it into the wet stuff so that it goes ahead and dissolves. Pushing it back down because I want it all to mix really good. It looks pretty good already. We're gonna do one more real quick zip. Yep, I'm good there. Pumpkin. That's pretty good. All right, we're gonna get this transferred into a different bowl and we'll mix the next ingredients. Okay, so this is what it looks like when it's all done. Just all smooth, and you can see that caffeine, that coffee, instant coffee just kind of worked into it, and it's just darkened it up, and you can really taste it when you taste the pumpkin too, by the way. So we're gonna set that aside for now. And already in our mixer, I have cleaned it up and gotten it all and myself up. No more pumpkin on the face. We are going to go ahead and cream our cheese and our sugar together as best we can. But I'm going to start by creaming the cheese and getting it really super smooth, and then adding the sugar afterwards. So here we go. This is all the cheeses, both the brie and the cream cheese together. You see, start off slow. And I'm using the triangular head that has the scraper on the side, so it's kind of scraping the sides a little bit as we go. But we are going to need to pause it, obviously, and actually scrape the sides. In fact, right about here looks like a good time to do just that. I'm not worried about if I get pumpkin in my mixture from my spatula. I probably should have cleaned the spatula too. But it's okay. That's what that swirl was right there. It's a little bit of the pumpkin. Just work that all back down. Bottom. Really want it to mix in through it. We really want it like this. The creamier you can get it, the better, honestly. Should look like Cool Whip when you're done. That's great. We're ready to add our sugar just very slowly. Maybe scrape our sides again. Oh, that's wonderful. That is just really creamy. Oh, that's good already. Give me a spoon of that. Alright. Hit it one more time real quick. Just to be sure everything's in there good. The other thing we want is for it to be floofy and you know. So, alright, here we go. Next ingredient is our vanilla. We're going to go ahead and pour that in. Get all of it out. And our spice seasoning mix, our pumpkin pie spice. And let's stir that together. Get that beat in together. Now is when we're going to actually put our pumpkin into the cheese mixture. So I recommend going ahead and raising this up scraping this off and switching over to the whisk feature at this point. It just works better. Next thing is actually this pumpkin. So now is when we add it back into the mixture. This is our pumpkin and our instant coffee. Instant coffee. Still working on getting that power wheelchair. When I get it, it's gonna be really nice because it'll actually, I can't lift that arm anymore. It'll actually help me lift up higher, and I won't have to be reaching up to doing this stuff, which is killing my arm. Muscular dystrophy. The form of muscular dystrophy I have, for those of you who don't know, limb girdle muscular dystrophy. It affects the shoulders right in here, and it's also why I'm in the wheelchair. Get the hips too. No biggie. Life goes on. Alright. That looks fabulous. All down in there. Lock her down. And here it goes. Start off slow. And then go faster. It's already starting to turn that orange color. I haven't even done the side scrape for the first time yet. Now you can see it. Doesn't hurt to beat it extra. I just really want to make sure everything gets mixed in good. So that's why I scrape the sides so much. It's kind of an extra level of insurance. It all gets caught in there. This should do it right in here. I say this should do it very lightly because we still have 6 medium-sized eggs to put in here. We're gonna drop them in one at a time, and we're actually at that point now. So, you know, if you're not wearing it, you're not cooking. Period. Eggs. So, my 6 medium eggs. Yes, I washed them. I was a good girl. I took my Dawn dish soap in my cold water and I washed the eggs before using them or before cracking them. Now I'm going to do another thing, and this will save you so much heartache, just in case, because life happens. When you crack your eggs, if they're farm fresh and you don't know, crack them one at a time into a separate bowl and then dump them in. We're going to do that one at a time, blend it one at a time, go from there. It went crazy when I went over there. Scrape our sides down, make sure everything off the side is mixed in. This looks great. It's kind of soupy, but that's okay. That is okay. We want it to be soupy and floofy. Lots of air beat into it, and this looks just about fabulous. The eggs are mixed in there just really, really good. So I'm going to zip this really quickly one last time, and we'll get our crust together. Looks good to me. Okay, we're back. Time for the crust. So I've got a different kind of mixer, my hand mixer out for the crust. It takes a smaller container. So you just take your crumbles from your ginger snap. Those are your, remember, crushed ginger snaps. That's a cup and a half. And then your quarter stick of butter that has been softened to squishiness. There, in case you couldn't see that. There you go. And just drop that in there. Then you take your mixer and you just whisk it together until all the butter is mixed in there really good. And all the crumbles are thoroughly coated. And again, start off slow and then pick up the speed towards the end. Perfect. You won't be able to see the butter at all in there. Now, that pan that we, oops. There, now you can see. That pan that we had earlier, remember we sprayed it really, really good And now we're just gonna spread our cookie crumble in the bottom and press it down really good. Spread it out. It'll make a thin layer. You don't want it to be a really heavy layer, because that's just too much ginger snap per bite. And again, this is a 9 by 13 pan. In case we forgot. You're gonna pack it in there pretty good. This is your crust. Perfect, just like that. Last but not least, we're gonna pour all of our filling on top of that. Thing I need to do is set my oven for 350 degrees Fahrenheit and get it preheated. This is going to cook for 40 to 45 minutes until it's almost set, and then it'll come out and cool on a wire rack for 10 minutes. All right, we are there, 350 degrees. Let's get our cake in now. Pick it up here. Oh, that's a big cheesecake. Beautiful. And we're going to set our timer for 40 minutes. All right, yay. We are there. See how it looks? Oh, that looks fabulous. Yeah, we got a crack or two, but I'm not panicking because it will actually go back down some, so it's not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and get that pulled out. See how it's still just a little wiggly? That's beautiful. So that's perfection. All right, so I'm gonna get this on a wire rack and we'll let it sit for 10 minutes and then we'll come back and take a look at it. Okay, and that's our 10-minute timer. So now we're gonna take a knife and we're gonna very gently go around the edges to separate it from the side of the pan. And this will help us get it out of here later when we go to serve it. Trying to do this one-handed. There we go. All right, now we're gonna let it cool the rest of the way for a solid 1 hour. And then it's gonna go in the fridge. We'll look at it then, and it'll cool overnight the rest of the way in the fridge. It is done. It is time to take this beautiful cheesecake, which has been sitting for an entire hour, and put it in the fridge. Now, last step, it needs to sit overnight and it'll be ready to cut up into squares tomorrow, and we'll take a good close look at it then. Of course, I've got to wait till tomorrow. You do not. It will be right back in just a second. Just hold tight. In the meantime, you could try hitting the subscribe button and notification bell. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. And here in a minute, we'll see how it turned out. I can't wait. It looks so good. This house smells fabulous, guys. Okay, it is the next day, the next afternoon, and I have woken up and got the cheesecake out and everything's done around the farm, and it's time for a midday snack. So let's cut this cheesecake. So I like to do 3 slices the long ways. You can do 4, I guess, but I like big pieces. And I'm only going to cut that half because I'm actually going to give these parts away to other people. So we've got here, it would have been, there's 9 there, it would have been 18 altogether if I actually cut the whole thing out. So, all right, let's get one of these out and try these two. A little bit of the crust. show y'all what that looks like.
So there it is. And you can see everything just looks really, really good. And I love the way it looks on a plate. And now you're probably wondering, why is it called a chili pumpkin latte? You've got the pumpkin in the latte, but where's the chili? Hang on, let me show you. Here it goes. Are you ready? The secret ingredient, a scoop of ice cream on top. Just like that. And that's how you serve it. Okay, here goes nothing. Oh, together they're perfect. The ice cream is just that crisp, cold, and creamy, and it just mixes with the latte. Oh, that coffee flavor. And then that pumpkin comes in and is like, hey, I'm still here. And then at the very, very end, you get that little bit of ginger snap at the bottom. This is really good, people. This is a super simple way to make a cheesecake, guaranteed to be soft and fluffy. If it develops a crack or two on the surface, no big deal. It tastes the same either way. We will look at a video in the future on how to avoid cracks. You'll notice I only had a couple small ones in the corner. The rest of the cake turned out good. So I feel like it was a success, and I hope you try it. If you do, be sure to comment down below. Let me know how it turned out. If you did a variation of it, did you do more coffee? Did you cut the coffee out altogether? Does decaf taste the same? I've never tried it with decaf coffee. All of these things. Let me know. I definitely need to learn and grow along with y'all. And I hope that this gives you some inspiration and that you're looking forward to seeing some more pumpkin videos here in the future. The very next one I'm going to do is actually on how to prepare a pumpkin from scratch. And very, very shortly after that, we're going to go from cooking a pumpkin from scratch to actually stuffing a pumpkin and doing the pumpkin pies and all of those. They're going to be boom, 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 boom. So I'm going to eat my pumpkin cheesecake. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Thanks for joining, y'all.